Broadcasting from Silicon Valley, California, this is Conversations with Jennylyn.
You're watching Conversations with Jennylyn, and today we are having an interactive session. My guest is Jeni Cousins. She's been on Conversations with Jennylyn a few times, and based on popular demand, she's here again today. And today she is going to answer questions. So we have several people in the session, and they will be submitting their questions, and Jeni will be answering them for us, and hopefully everyone will get the answers they want. Jeni, welcome to Conversations with Jennylyn.
Thank you for having me back on again. It's so wonderful. And just to let everybody know, I've been getting different comments from people about you actually, and everybody says you're so sweet.
Oh,
they're like, oh, she's so sweet.
Thank you. That's really nice. The world is so full of bitterness and anger. I don't want to be one of those people.
No.
So thank you, everyone who thinks I'm sweet. And if you run out of sugar, dial me. So Jeni, do you just want to give us like a little description of what's going on the planet before you start taking your questions?
Well, it's interesting because as we are having technical issues, we have a cosmic flare going on right now. We've had a lot of different energy shifts, of course, and a lot of huge like vibrational frequencies, just to kind of put it more in English form, which does cause effect with the body and the soul. Okay, and your emotions, especially around with the supermoon energies. So the technical issues is the number one thing that I don't like about the energies right now. As you can see, there's a lot of people that are still trying to come in. So for whatever reason, they're not able to. And you know what I mean? Things like that, when it happens, you have to surrender it. So the body situation, some people might be feeling really, really tired especially the past week. So you might find you might have like some toothache problems, like some joint problems, feeling more stiffness and aches in the body, thinking that, you're coming down with a cold. And as you mentioned, Jennylyn, like a rash, it affects our nervous system. And that's why right now, everybody can be a little shaky. Under the circumstances, of course, but somebody might say, you know what, I had somebody say to me the other day, I had a total breakdown and I don't know why that is, and I was doing fine. And then just something out of nowhere just like almost hit me. And you got to remember that we can get sparked in different ways energetically. And while watching a movie, we can hear a sound, we can hear music, like anything can happen. That just brings out stuff. Whenever you start having that kind of emotional moment, don't hold it in, because right now we're in a huge healing phase. We're moving up different, like dimensions and such. And it's telling you to be authentic, be your true self. And there's a lot of karmic endings with relationships, friendships, family, business, anything to do with that, because your soul's trying to bring forth what is best for you and pay attention. So it, of course, is going to hit nerves for people that are not ready to end certain circumstances with work or relationships or anything, if they have to make changes within. And when you're getting presented that information, as I call it, from your soul, it's like, okay, I need to take that step back and really see what's really going on with me. And if you're not sure, don't force it, because the more you try to force what's going on, how do I change this? What direction do I go? And all of that, you're creating more chaos, which you're not going to get clarity, and you're going to go down more so into the lower vibration. So it's really important to surrender it, as I call it, with ease. It's like, okay, this is out of my control, because the only thing you have control over is yourself.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, Jeni, you are privy to all of this because this is your gift. But for most people, they wake up and they're like, what the? is going on today. I can't seem to find my balance. I can't seem to resonate with what's happening today. And you just feel out of sorts. So I'm really happy that, you're shedding some light on it, because the world is in such a chaotic state, like nothing that we used to refer to as normal, like where we found our equilibrium. It just seems like everything is just catapulted into craziness, and every day we're waking up in a twilight zone, is what I've been calling it. So I'm grateful that you're shedding some light on what is happening. And even though people are experiencing this, some people still deny it. They think it's hocus pocus. So for those of us who are evolved and we know it's not hocus pocus, thank you for helping us to kind of understand what is happening around us so we can adapt.
Well, I mean, like everybody, has that intuition. It's like, what direction do I go? It's like, let's say if you're supposed to go meet somebody for coffee, for instance, or to do something, and just something, it's like, I don't know, like something's just not right. I'm really nervous. I don't know, all of those questions, that again is your soul talking to you, to pay attention to, okay, how are you feeling? Depending on the circumstances, we can all get nervous for different reasons and such like that. So, and I've also had people say that they have felt a presence around them. They have felt like, somebody's behind them, like somebody might tap them on the shoulder or whatever, and really pay attention. Because whenever you want to start hearing messages, your crown is right above your head. So you use your right hand to top your head, that's your crown, to activate it. Okay, so it's like if you're starting to meditate, or it's like, what, I want to get some messages, spirit, I just say, spirit, please show me. Use your left hand to tap the middle of your chest, right beside your heart, your sternum. Tap that to enter your heart chakra, and tap that for the top of your head to activate it. And then be open, and don't go searching to hear. So whenever somebody's feeling, like somebody tapping them, some people can get really nervous. They're like, oh my God. But right now, especially this year, a lot of your guides are more present than normal. A lot of your angels, your loved ones are doing that to say, we're with you. And it can freak somebody out, right? So, and if it does, just say, okay, don't do that. Like, come in my dreams or give me a different sign.
Okay, so should we start with the questions we've had? We have some beautiful women and some beautiful people on here waiting patiently. So why don't you guys start typing your questions so that Jenny can answer them for you?
Yeah, any questions or concerns?
And
Start
I'm
away.
sorry that it seems like we've got a lot of people who just 12 people trying to get in. And
Can you let them in?
I can't, because there's no, in order for me to let them in, they have to request. And then I let them in, but there's no request up here, which is so strange. For some reason, they're not allowed to come in.
Okay.
But, well, we'll just make do with what we have, and hopefully eventually they can come in.
Yeah, see, again, that's exactly what I mean. Like, certain circumstances that are out of your control, you have to surrender it, because people can get really upset, like, I want this to happen now. Why isn't this happening now? All of that. So this is when it's like, what? Don't get upset about the situation. We all have our ups and down days. And right now, actually, I'm getting most of the questions that I do get, because I get questions emailed to me every now and then, and a lot of it right now is on relationships. Okay, and they're like, how do I know if this person is right for me? How do I know if they're my true mate? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I end it? Should I go forward? And you know what? First of all, again, it's really important for you to take that step back. And I emphasize this all the time, because you need to have that space and alone time. And especially whenever we're dealing with karmic relationships, it can get really hard. really hard, because it's like, I don't want to hurt that person, or I don't know what direction to go. So just to kind of bring that up, I'm starting to get questions. So have a question here. Will things settle in my life? I'm worried about one of my loved ones with addiction, and it's causing me a lot of pain. Okay, first of all, for your loved ones or anyone you know, addiction goes back to, most of the time it goes back to when something happened, in their childhood. Addiction can come from them feeling abandoned by a parent. It can come from somebody's self-esteem is really low. Any little thing can set someone off. So it's easy for that person to go to alcohol or drugs or gambling or porn, or like anything that creates an addiction. And the only thing that you can do for them, okay, because they live in their own illusionary mind of, they block and they numb things out that they don't want to deal with. Okay. And that's where the root of the issue is, but they don't want to deal with it. So they numb it. Okay. And there's not much that you can do for them, because you can't force somebody to go for help, for counseling or AA or anything like that until that person is ready. You can have an intervention for them, but again, it comes down to when they are truly ready. What I would do if I were you is just say, you know what, I'm here for you anytime you want to talk. I know you're in pain. I know that, you're trying to avoid something, but just know I'm here for you. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times that person doesn't feel safe, that they have, even though they could have, married and everything like that, sometimes they're not ready to share or really give out a lot of information. Okay, just to let you know about addiction, there's a lot more to it than that. And will things settle in my life? Well, things right now, that comes up to you when, again, you're ready to kind of really take that step back and take a look at what is not working for me. Okay. And of course, with COVID, it has caused huge health, relationship, finance problems for everybody. And it all goes on how you utilize it and take advantage of it. So if you're spending a lot of time all of a sudden with loved ones, more so than normal, sometimes that can get a little, okay, I'm not used to this. I'm used to, having this and having that. So just give it some time. And just stay true to you, and remember that everybody deals things differently than everyone else. Okay. So things for you are, there's going to be a few shifts. It's not going to be right away, to be honest with you. You've got a very giving heart. So it's got to work in both ways. So just try to keep the peace in the meantime. And if you need space, go for a walk, right? Do what it takes right now to just kind of keep things really calm. So, okay. So will things settle? We just saw that. Okay. What can I do to keep myself in high vibration around very negative people that want to pull down my vibration? When will I know the timing to let go of someone? Well, you know deep down already where your situation is going. It's a matter of when. Okay. And again, that's the thing. It all comes down to when you're truly ready to let someone go. And this COVID, there's many reasons why it has brought forth. It's bringing forth, it's taking the masks off people, as I call it, the true self. You're going to see the ugly. You're going to see the authenticity, the truth, and all of that. And in order for you to stay in high vibration, that can be tricky when you are surrounded with negative energy, because it's constantly going to be pulling your vibe down. So, it's again, trying to, go for your walks, trying to have extra space and meditation time. Sometimes we have to distance ourselves and go, into another environment or another area or space. So that is tricky, but you already know the truth deep down. So I really feel that that's going to go on for a little while longer, to be honest with you. Could go on for another year and a half, but just know that when you are truly ready, because you're very connected with with the cosmic energy, that you're going to know that, okay, I need to make change. You know, maybe it's better that, and I know who you're talking about, so maybe it's better that that person kind of goes into another room and we kind of separate that way, or that person moves out and get a place of their own and we can have space. So there is a way around that as well. So just stay true to you, but just understand that everybody has their own journey. And as you start to evolve, it gets harder to be around certain other people. And it's not saying, hey, I'm better than everybody else or I know more. No, we each have our own journey and our own path. So, you know, certain people I don't go around, or I don't go near any invitations even before COVID. And it's not because I'm like, you know, I'm better. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's like, no, you know, that's just not my tribe. That's not my vibe. That's just, it's not my thing. But I wish them all the best with prosperity and abundance and love. So, alrighty. What are my next steps to live bigger? Many people ask me for advice on fitness and nutrition, which you're very good at. That's your new journey, by the way, as well as having a baby. Oh, no. Okay, I'm not, okay, I'll read it fully, but I just saw that. Many people ask me for advice on fitness and nutrition, as well as having a baby. I am enjoying giving them tips and listening to them. I find people are loving my energy, that I stay positive. Some people do not. For the people who do not accept you who you are, that's okay. They see you through their level of perception and their eyes only. Okay, there's always going to be people that like you and don't like you. And as you're evolving, people aren't going to like that, because some people, they don't want to shift. They don't want to make the change. Why? Because it's too painful. And it gets really hard when someone is walking the spiritual path. Like, I spent many years alone, and I'm still pretty much alone, you know, because it's like, I would rather have that peace of mind. I know who I am, you know, than to surround myself in environments or situations that are not going to be good for me. So it really makes things harder. But the people that aren't accepting you and treating you with respect, that's when you need to make a decision of, I can't be around that. And that can bring, that's your rebirth. That's like your death. And that can bring a lot of tears and sadness because of that reason. You having a baby? No, no. You know, a baby is love. A baby can bring a lot of joy. But when some people are not truly, deeply wanting that, then there's your answer. I don't see that with you, to be honest. I really don't. You have a lot of love to give, and your life is evolving in a whole different area. So I'm in a real relationship that, oh, hang on here. I'm in a real relationship that has caused a lot of stress and anxiety. I love him very much, but really struggle with his mom, who I find to be very controlling. I'm also struggling with his ex-wife, and it's been very difficult for 7 years. I often wonder if I've made the right decision. Yes, you did make the right decision, because whenever we meet someone and it feels right, we go with that. And every relationship has its ups and downs. Don't forget, getting along with in-laws. And right now, because you're a very old soul, you're in a lot of karmic relationships with your family, with your partner, with his family, and things come to surface for you to say what I want, what I don't want. When there's always going to be somebody that is not gonna really like you. They'll judge you for whatever reason. That's their energy. That's their story. That's their path. It has nothing to do with you. As long as you are staying true to who you are and speaking your truth, that's all that matters. Okay. But yeah, I can see your relationship kind of being rocky and stuff like that. You know, especially when it's concerning somebody in his family, such as his mother, that can be harder. So, you know, you can, you know, I know what that was like once upon a time, you know, and it's all about, maybe don't be around his mother as much, right? You know, it's like, oh, you know, I'm going to go this way or that way, or, you know, whatever like that. But don't keep on putting yourself in a situation and surrounding yourself with negative energy, because yeah, it will continue on. But yeah, your relationship is going to be rocky for a while, to be really honest with you, and you might make a really big decision in the next couple of years. even to go your own direction. So we won't even get into that right now, but just, you know, walk your own walk. And, you know, it's like she is very controlling, and the control and manipulation that runs in the family, that's where your partner gets it from as well. So stand in your power. But sometimes it's like, you know what? It's like, if I can see like an argument in a family or a situation, I'm like, okay, I'm not even going to go. I'm not going to get involved with the drama. So I can sit there and there can be different people talking, or, you know, about drama or whatever like that. I won't say a word. I'm an observer. I have been for a long time. And there's a lot I don't say on purpose. So you got to remember, for every reaction, there's an action, vice versa. So just kind of tread on low, you know, like low steps, little bitty steps, you know, try not to get involved with the drama. Your partner has conflicts with his mother as well. There's a lot of arguments there too. So, you know, he's had this issue with her. And there's just something that's not, there could be some wires that are kind of crossed too. She could have a lot of different energies around her aura, which is creating her head to go in different directions. So, which can happen. I meant people ask me how to get back into shape after having a baby. Okay. I didn't see you having a baby, so no wonder. Yeah, see, this is exactly what I mean. You know, you're going and you're moving in a whole different direction altogether. You're very good at what you're doing. You're very good with health and nutrition and all of that. And you are a coach. Okay. So if I wanted to find, for instance, a coach for health or any certain things, for me, I will choose a coach that I feel they're honest and they're authentic. Okay. And that's why you're getting people drawn to you, because you are authentic. You're very honest. You're very open. You're not sitting there and being harsh and judging people, because the first thing you have to do is you got to read into their energy. Because some people, it's like whenever I have clients, some people want to hear things bluntly. I read into their level of consciousness, first of all, to see where they're at. And then I take it from there. I'm not going to be very blunt and do to a certain client if they're not going to get it, because then it's a waste of their time and my time. So that's the first thing you have to do, regardless of if they have 5 pounds to lose or 50 or 100 or however. That's irrelevant. There's reasons why. And we all go through different karmic cycles. Vedic energy, our body changes with different cycles also. So keep that in mind. You can get different people saying, well, that person should be at a certain weight or a certain fitness, and they put that person down, where it's like, you cannot do that because you don't know that person's journey at all. At all. There's many reasons. Okay. So sit back, listen to them, hear their story, and intuitively read into their energy, which you can do that. That's why I'm saying that to you more so than if it was somebody different. Okay. And you'll find that that will really, really succeed. And there will be somebody else coming around, needless to say, in time when you're ready to close doors and open new ones. So I think you got the picture on that one. Okay, I think I am ready for change. However, I generally get confirmations, but lately not able to obtain those confirmations or able to recognize them. And be due to a new relationship. A new relationship, yeah, it can throw you off, because especially whenever there's, you know, healing still to do and let go of from a last relationship. Sometimes, you know, with a new relationship, we can see like, oh no, like that's a certain sign that they're going to be like this or they're going to be like that, right? So it's like, okay, one step at a time. You know, this new relationship you're in, I'm really feeling the love there, the unconditional love, to be honest. I really am. So again, it's like you need to have your space also. You know, you can get smothered. I feel that. So just remember that everybody likes their own space, okay, to walk in their own shoes. So everything will come to you, and don't try to force those confirmations, because you're going to feel it. You know what I mean? It's like all of a sudden, if there's somebody coming around you and you're like, oh my God, I can feel that person coming over today, or I'm supposed to get together with that person. Listen to how your body reacts to that energy. And sometimes we can get nervous, and that's okay, because it's new. It's the new. Where if you've been in this relationship for a while, you're going to be able to sense a lot more. So just go with the flow, one sense at a time. But if you do need some space for yourself, make sure that you inform him of that. That's really, really important. And, as you're even, having that space, you're going to hear those messages come through. You're just going to feel it and know it. So don't put pressure on yourself. So one of my sons doesn't accept me for my energy because you both are different. Don't forget, karmically, 2 different souls, number 1, and is not only negative, but also hurtful. Of course it would be, because you're the mother. I stand back and see that this is karmic. Yes, I will keep being me and hope that I have a positive influence on him. And you got to remember that he has his own journey too. Being a mother, of course, you want to be there for him, and you don't want him to go down the wrong path and all of these things, right? But keep in mind, he's a soul. He's on his own journey too. Okay, like we all are. He has to make mistakes. I hope that I can still have a wonderful relationship with his daughter. Yes, you will. My granddaughter. Him and his wife are having another baby too. Do you see me involved in my grandson's lives? Yes, you will. Just give them the space. Okay. And especially now that, like some people aren't as open as you spiritually, it's like, holding back. So if I went over to somebody's house and they just had a baby, let's say, for instance, I would be myself. But if that person is not really involved or interested in anything spiritually, I'm not going to start talking about spirituality. No. Okay. So it's like knowing ahead of time what to talk about and what not to talk about, because you can set it off and people get uncomfortable. Do you see me involved? Yes. I surrender the outcome. Absolutely. I just need to trust and know how to let go with love if that is what to happen. Do you see me going into life coaching or fitness coaching? Absolutely. Yes. That's why this journey started for you. You're very good at it. It's a huge part of who you are, and that you're really going to transcend and transform on that, as you already had anyways. Keep going, because that's the direction you're going onto. One-on-one coaching. You're going to get very busy. Like very busy. You're going to create your own business and everything from that. With your son, absolutely. Just be you, but again, just keep in mind where their level of consciousness is. Okay, that's the key. That's the key, right? It's like with anybody, you know what I mean? Okay. I lost both my grandparents, and that was very difficult for me. My grandma was one of my greatest friends, and I miss them all the time. Are they doing well? Do they come visit me? Your grandparents are with you more. They're both fine. They're both at peace. I can see them laughing and actually dancing around. They're with your whole family a lot. I see them spending a lot of time, more so with your parents, to be honest. But again, all they can do is try to give them different signs and stuff. But if your parents aren't open to see the signs, it's not going to make a difference. They know they're around, but then you got to remember that your parents' energy, they're in a different level of consciousness. Okay. So they're not going to truly be getting an understanding a lot, because addictions and such, people see illusionary things that they have illusionary thoughts. They start to have fantasies. They start to believe they did certain things, or certain things were done to them, certain things like that. And that's one of the hardest things with addictions. When somebody passes on, let's say, especially from addiction with drugs or alcohol, just to give you an example, they're showing, of course, the disease, dis-ease. It's not easy, right? And how they treated people. And what happens is, a lot of times they'll come back in a dream and say, oh my God, I wasn't in my right mind. I didn't know what I was saying or doing. I'm sorry how I treated you, or whatever it is like that. So, but when they're in that addiction, they're not getting clarity at all, because they're in a different level of energy. different level of consciousness. So your
Jenny?
grandmother, yeah, sorry, go on.
Just letting you know that we're down to 6 minutes.
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness.
I'm just giving you a heads up.
Okay, okay. Okay, so just know that your grandparents are with you. And again, you might feel the tap on the shoulder. Okay, so you can just say, grandma, grandpa, can you give me a sign you're with me? Surrender it, don't force it, because a lot of white feather I see actually. Like candles, you might see flickering coming on. Start, like pretending as if you're seeing them, vision them right in front of you. And just say, can you please give me a sign that you're with me? Sometimes they'll come right away, sometimes they won't. They'll normally, especially next month, December, they're going to be around you even more. It's a higher month for Christ consciousness. So they are with you. And this year specifically, more so when you're going through a lot of hard times, they're with you more. So quick one here. What do you see happening with my son? How can I help him? Are the headaches from his concussion syndrome or anxiety, his sensitive soul, and really asking for my health? His concussion was on purpose for him to wake up and see reality. Number one, to be open to, concussion is the head, trying to connect with the crown chakra, I should say. So he'll be okay, but I can feel that, every now and then it's like his guides will kind of tap on his head a little bit, and then he might get a little bit of a headache because they're like, okay, pay attention to what you're about to say or think. It's like with the angel numbers. Whenever you see angel numbers, sequent numbers, pay attention to where your thoughts are. Okay. And whenever you see the numbers, where's my mind thinking, where's my thoughts right now? So whenever he asks you for help, of course, be there. And again, read into him, and don't go on a lot with heavy spirituality. He's open, but yet he's closed to that. So go on an easy way. Like if it was a brand new client wanting to learn more about spirituality, I'm not going to start him off on a huge esoteric vibe, like they wouldn't get it, even though he's more familiar with it. But again, you got to see where he's at. What it's like a mood ring. What mood is that person in? Do they want to talk about spirituality? Do they want to talk about this or that? So go with that and just be open with him, right? And he'll come to you. Let him come to you more than you going to him. So yes. So a lot, that's what I brought up earlier, a lot of relationships and, karmic relationships, and relationships karmically, family is number one. Number one is family. And then we have our karmic relationships, our spouses, our partners, husbands, wife, whoever a partner is. So, and also connections, what you do to others come back. Keep that in mind. So, just don't be hard on yourself. Especially, I always emphasize that to everybody. We all have our own walk to walk on. I can hear that beeping.
It's our time. So, did you get everybody's questions in? And you see, it's a good thing everybody wasn't able to get on.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been. Would have been a lot of time
to get to everyone's questions.
Yeah, so that's why I went on a little bit more, actually, because I knew that technical issues, right?
No, we were on for 40 minutes.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, we were on for 40 minutes.
Holy smokes. Okay.
So did you get everyone's questions answered?
I think I did. Yes. By the looks of it.
Take a look and we'll make sure you answer them all before we wrap.
Let me just see if I can scroll up. Oh, I can. Okay. Right now I'm kind of weary with this laptop. Next steps to live bigger. You already know how to live bigger. Be true to you. Follow your path. Follow your passion. Like I'm doing a complete 180 myself with many different things. Okay. And it's like, follow your passions, follow what you want to do, create a vision board. Number one, my vision board I created beginning of January, and I've checked a few things off of that. So you know, the bigger your dreams, the more you'll go for it. Okay. Don't worry about who likes you and who don't likes you. That's irrelevant at all. A lot of people, that's their number one thing. Like, how are people going to see me? Do they like me? Who cares? That's not important. You stay true to you, and you'll attract your soul tribe and soul vibe. You don't go looking for your soul tribe, because when you're authentic, you attract your soul tribe to you. There's other people out there that try to be somebody they're not. They attract all kinds of energy and situations and people to them because they're not being true to themselves. So always be true to you. And it's like, you know what? People are going to like you, love you, and not like you. That's irrelevant completely. So yes, take it easy. Just take it easy, one step at a time. Most important.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for participating. And Jenny, thank you for answering their questions. I hope everyone got answers that they're satisfied with, and that will help them to navigate their future and whatever plans they have. And let's hope all this craziness calms down soon. Jenny, what do you want to say before I wrap up?
Well, like as far as the virus is concerned, it's going to be around. It's for the more people that aren't wearing masks and washing their hands, it's going to be here. Okay, so it's going to be around. It's going to start lingering off later into next year. You know, it'll start lingering on a little bit before that, but just please, everyone, wear a mask and just wash your hands. Right? You might not believe in it, let's say, but please do that, because you have to think of the well-being of other people, and it's not just the elderly. You know, like I see people die all the time working on call at the hospice, and it affects their family and their friends and even their pets very deeply when they have to see them like that. And, you know, if anybody wants me to elaborate, more so, you can always book a private reading with me, soulworkwithjenny.com. And, I can even give you a lot more insights and stuff, because I hold back a lot, because, whenever it's on like social media and stuff or anything, I hold back a lot of private things. That's why I don't give people's names as well. So I can give you more in depth than a personal reading, one-on-one, definitely.
Well, thanks again, Jenny. Thank you again, everyone who participated. And I wish everyone a great day. And thank you for watching Conversations with Jennylyn. I hope that you see Jenny in action. And if you have some questions that you think you need some insight on, feel free to reach out. And I will see you next time. Thank you, everyone.
Broadcasting from Silicon Valley, California, this is Conversations with Jennylyn.